Hello, my name is John Allen, and I'm hoping to represent iRacing as a contestant in the 2016 Mazda Road to 24 Shootout. I've spent more than 15 years making a living in some aspect of the automotive industry, and it has allowed me to apply my passion for cars every day, and I've never tired of it. But just being around cars wasn't enough. I wanted to go fast, but I had no connection to the racing community whatsoever. So racing seemed unattainable, and it became a dream that I set aside indefinitely. I joined iRacing almost 4 years ago, and as a means to feed my competitive appetite at a time when my personal budget allowed no room for a race car. But what began as recreational quickly became more of a training tool that inspired me to find some way to get on track in a real race car as soon as possible. My only real-world race experience prior to last year came from a few amateur autocross events. I excelled at it, and so it left me longing to compete more often and at a higher level. While looking for that opportunity, iRacing continued to fill the void and fit the wallet better. But eventually I saved up some money and made the first significant investment in my dream. In the summer of 2015, I attended a 3-day high-performance driving school conducted at the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. Having run around Mid-Ohio on the iRacing simulator many times, I still had no context for the level of realism that iRacing's developers had attained until my first time around the circuit. It was truly amazing how familiar and comfortable the track felt. Throughout the event, I received a flood of compliments from the instructors, who all seemed in disbelief to see me performing at a high level in what were my first ever laps on a real road course. After completing the class, I received my provisional NASA racing license and shortly thereafter became an SCCA member as well. My primary instructor at the school was Jason Wolf, who was the reigning TCA champion in the Pirelli World Challenge. He advised me that if I meant to race as a career and not a hobby, I should start out in Spec Miata. It would be affordable, the fields are always large, and if I aspired to stand out and be noticed as a driver, then a spec class provided the most even playing field. Throughout 2016, I've attended a variety of races at several venues in support of fellow iRacers. I saw Glenn McGee, last year's Shootout winner, race at Watkins Glen in the battery tender MX-5 Cup. I saw Dakota Dickerson, who was a Skip Barber Team USA scholarship driver, race at Road America in the USF 2000 series presented by Cooper Tire and powered by Mazda. And then it was back to Mid-Ohio to watch my iRacing team co-driver, Justin Hilly, win the national championship in his Spec Miata at the 2016 SCCA runoffs presented by Garmin Verb. As I immersed myself in the grassroots racing community, I found out how supportive people are of one another. I've worked hard to make some connections which will serve me well in moving forward in my racing career, and iRacing has remained a part of that advancement. This past March, I was invited by a fellow iRacer to come with him to NCM Motorsports Park and drive his car on track to gain some experience. It was a generous gesture and a wonderful time. He then offered me to be a part of his team for a 2-day WRL endurance race to take place at Mid-Ohio in April. Sadly, that weekend's weather did not cooperate and the event was called off due to snow. But during the half day of test and tune in cold and wet conditions, I gained more valuable experience and wound up putting up times faster than the car's owner and similar to a competitor who I noticed was on pole for the NASA race there 2 weeks later. That was when I became fully committed to the pursuit and bought a Miata of my own to build and prep for the 2017 Spec Miata race season. More recently, that same driver I mentioned qualified inside the top 10 for this year's SCCA runoffs, filling me with even more confidence about my abilities and things to come. My plan has been to acclimate myself to regional and national level competition in 2017 and then apply that experience towards the goal of a national championship win at the 2018 SCCA runoffs. But now, with the opportunity that iRacing and Mazda have presented through the iRacing Global MX-5 Compound Cup event, I'm trying to take full advantage of the chance to put my racing career into fast forward by meeting some of the elite racers from organizations around the country and competing with them both on and off track for the $100,000 scholarship at stake. I want to win the shootout to prove there is real driving talent to be found in unexpected places, and you can succeed in racing even if you don't enter into it by traditional means. If I do not win the shootout, I will at the very minimum have been a good ambassador for the iRacing community and come away with more valuable connections and experience, knowing exactly what I must do to be invited back by Mazda next year and try again. I'm grateful to iRacing and Mazda for this opportunity and ask that you select me to attend the Mazda Road to 24 Shootout and pursue my dream. Thank you.